Welcome to Astrodology, the podcast that brings you knowledge, wisdom, and principles that can help you find the peace and comfort we all seek and deserve in our lives. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Astrodology with Astrid. I sincerely hope you're well and doing good. Oh, what a wild way to enter 2025. I'm here today to talk about the new moon in Aquarius coming in on January 29th. But before I go there, I just want to send my heartfelt condolences, prayers, and high thoughts to so many people that have been affected by these greater Los Angeles and Southern California fires. You can probably hear in my voice, thank goodness, thank God, properties weren't damaged and I'm safe. My family has been safe. But I did get overwhelmed with the smoke because I worked 3 miles from the Eaton fires, and the night that it came in and those winds were raging, I didn't think much about it, but I ended up having to spend time in San Diego for about 5 days with my wonderful son so that my lungs could start to clear out. I completely lost my voice on January 11th, and you can still hear I have residual. The thing about my voice is that when anything happens like a laryngitis, the true healing is just to be quiet. The conundrum is everything that I do, I use my voice. So I just feel so grateful that my voice is here. For a moment there, I thought that it was never going to come back. At any rate, not to dwell on that, but boy, oh boy, Happy New Year, by the way. I haven't even said Happy New Year, I don't think. This new moon in Aquarius and this whole energy and activity in January is unbelievable. If I look energetically, I think of Aquarius and what it represents. Aquarius, much like Scorpio, is a sign of transformation. And the thing about Aquarius, it's societal transformation, where sometimes I think Scorpio transformation is about the individual, where Aquarius is about the collective. We are finally really got our toes in the water of the age of Aquarius. We're leaving Pisces behind. And I love the sign of Aquarius because Aquarius to me is one of the most magical energies that we could work with. And why do I say work with? Because whenever a sign is on deck and it's their turn, you really can pick up those qualities. It is said that we have every zodiac sign somewhere in our chart. So Aquarius is magical because Aquarians are so self-assured. They really do, I've said this numerous times, run to the beat of their own drum without even really being concerned. FOMO, fear of missing out, does not even enter their mind. They're so busy being in their heads and so creative. It's a sign of freedom, the sign of breakthroughs and innovation. So during this new moon, you want to think about in what ways can you be innovative, because with Pluto on deck and Aquarius on deck, Pluto, again, Scorpio's ruling planet, is about transformation, about clearing. And what's crazy is we are in a 9-year. 9 is the endings, closure. But the positive thing about 9 is whenever you have an ending, you automatically have a beginning. So this new moon comes in on Wednesday, 1/29, in just a couple of days at 9 degrees. So we're in a 9-year because 2025 reduces to a 9. And at 4:36 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Aquarius is about exploring uncharted territories. And it's about doing things differently. So I know coming into 2025, I challenge myself on doing some things differently. Like I reset the space and switched things around in that the front room where I teach the classes and have the yoga and the meditation is now purely a teaching and learning and what I call absorbing space. That was different for me to do because I always had my retail sprinkled in, and then I made the middle part of the space the shop, because I thought it was inappropriate when people are practicing to have, all this retail items around them. Hey, it was good in the beginning, but it's time for a change. So I've been really inspired. Capricorn season just ended, and I want to thank Capricorn for the groundedness during all the fires and everything, because Capricorn is a sign that can literally push and make it through anything. So I've been while I think what is happening now, I've been putting some of my grief and anxiety into doing. So this is a great time for doing to overtake our lives. See, these fires brought up memories of Woosley, not to compare and contrast, but I was actually surprised at the level of anxiety that came over me when these fires were happening, because not only I work 3 miles from where the Eaton fires were, and I live about only 6 miles away from the Eaton fires. And then simultaneously, here I am in South Pasadena, then simultaneously have the Palisades fire transform into the back mountain range, back to near Agora Hills in Calabasas, where my condo resides. So it's a little testy. And again, when we think of trauma, oftentimes we think of physical abuse or some kind of mental abuse or bad parenting, but we are in a stage of collective trauma now. I receive so many texts, voicemails, DMs from people reaching out from all across the country and even out of the country. I have a few friends that live abroad just checking in on me, and it was such a great feeling. So during this time, Aquarius and Pluto are creating that's in my mind and heart, because we've not been treating the planet appropriately. I don't know what the message is for those that have lost so much. I don't have an answer. My question to God in my daily prayers is, what are people supposed to do? I usually have lots of answers and solutions, but honest to goodness, I don't know what people are supposed to do. This is just very tragic. And the last piece on this is, during the Woosley fires, when I had to evacuate, Palisades was the first haven that I was able to get to. And to hear now that the Palisades is devastated is just unbelievable to me. Already, though, it's seeing people coming together like Aquarius likes us to do, unity, the collective, people working together in groups and for the good of all. So we're seeing this quite a bit. And again, we're at a stage where I think most of us are 1 or 2 degrees only separated from learning about people losing their entire homes and having to rebuild and start again. Think of genius. Aquarians are usually pretty bright people. One of the planets, or the governing planet, is Uranus. So Aquarius energy is about focusing on the future, because it is about just moving society forward. I said this a lot, but AI is Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy governs the higher mind, and it's all about new angles, new ideas. One of the things that Aquarius energy and Aquarians are very famous for, they do not look back. They can make decisions that may not pan out and turn out to be the best, but they really don't dwell on past mistakes. They have this ability to keep moving forward. I'm not saying that the past doesn't ever come to their mind or hurt them, but they have a really good way of kind of going in a way, oh well, because they continually come back to seeing the big picture, coming back to seeing the big picture. So Aquarius, I still believe, is ruled by the two planets, Uranus and Saturn. And these two planets create a powerful sense of service because Capricorn or Saturn is about service, is the taskmaster, and Uranus is about dreaming, possibilities, uniqueness. Now, what's great about this new moon coming in on the 29th at 9 degrees is that it's the first day that we enter into the Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year, because different cultures celebrate the Lunar New Year. And this is the year of the snake. A snake is associated with transformation, like Aquarius. Also cunning, wise. It's a wisdom sign. Keenly insightful, and extraordinary intelligence. So, year of the snake. So if you're year of the snake, this is going to be a good thing for you. And here's the thing. I always say to people that the planets do really affect our energy here on Earth and our emotions. Think of the weather. The weather isn't a planet, but this is why I say to people, external forces affect us. Everything is a form of energy. When those winds were blowing up to 99 miles an hour, it made you feel a certain type of way. I remember we were joking because as the day went on, the winds just kept getting faster and higher. And it just seems like I made a joke about being in the Wizard of Oz, having no idea how crazy it was going to turn. So the reason I'm saying that if you're feeling off lately, if you're feeling a little wobbly, is that we have 3 planets in retrograde right now. Uranus is in retrograde, Jupiter, as well as Mars. Mars is the big darn deal because Mars has been in retrograde since December 6th and will not leave us until February 23rd. Mars is the planet of action. It's a fiery planet. And when a planet goes retrograde, sometimes we feel held back and slowed and delayed. And with this being in Leo, it started in Leo and ultimately now in Cancer, it makes you feel, because Cancer is water, it's about movement and flowing, and Leo is fire, so it's about, again, energy, activity, and so it's really slowed things down. But as I say, retrogrades are a time to pause, take a cosmic pause, a step back, to make sure that you're moving in the right direction. And I really will say, during Aquarius season, it really will bode you well to think of how you can do things different than you always have. The other thing that's happening here is the nodes have changed. The North Node has moved into Pisces, and the North Node is about the present, about the future, it's about growth, and it's where we need to develop ourselves and embrace. So this is just happening during this new moon, embodying and mastering ourselves in our lives. And the South Node is in Virgo. It's about the past lifetimes, your natural talents. What are you naturally talented at, and what were you born with? And what are we letting go of so that we can move towards the North Node energy? The South Node is also related to karma. Sometimes we inherit trauma and things like that from our ancestors and our families. The other hub is that there is a grand air trine. So Aquarius is an air sign. So the sun is in an air sign, the moon is an air sign, and Jupiter follows it up in Gemini. So remember, at the new moon, always set a new intention at the new moon. It's so important. Every month we get a change. So you're not having to recreate new intentions, but you're refreshing it, and you're just taking time to pause and click in with the intentions that you have set. Let's talk about this number 9, because 9 is unbelievable. Like I said, it's energy. It's considered the strongest yang number in all of astrology, or all of numerology, I should say. 9 is the last number in the lineup from 1 through 8, as we've said before. 9 is the head of wisdom. It's about experiences. So This was an interesting information. I got this from Tanya Gabrielle. She's an astrologer. Anything you multiply a number by 9 reduces or becomes the sum of 9. So for example, 1 plus 5, so 6 plus 9 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6. The sum adds up to the same number you added to 9. So 6 plus 9 equal to 15. 15 reduces to a 6. If you take the 15 apart, 1 plus 5 equals a 6. But that sum adds up to the same number you added to 9. 6 times 9, for example, equals 63. Add the sum of 6 plus 3. So you break 63 apart because we're always reducing to a single digit. That equals a 9. 2025 is considered a perfect square. A perfect square. So this is why 2025 being a 9 and then being a perfect square and then having this 9 energy is wild. So if you do 45 times 45, it equals 2025. If you take 4 plus 5 of 45, it equals a 9. I hope you're getting this. The example is 6 times 9 is 63. Add the sum of 6 plus 3, you get a 9. 2025 is a perfect square because 45 times 45 equals 2025. If you take 45 in itself, 4 plus 5, it equals a 9. So there's a lot of 9 and 5 energy that's happening right now. 9 times 9 is 81. If you divide 81 apart, 8 plus 1, it equals a 9. 5 times 5 equals 25. 81 times 25 equals 2025. 9 squared times 5 equals 2025. And add 1 to 9. If you add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 9, that equals 45. You square 45 and you get 2025. Come on now. That's so fascinating. I know it's a lot to hear and follow, but wow. Just shows you how magical of a universe we live in. I hope you got that. That was a little, first I was confused over it, but I thought how powerful that is. So year of the snake in this. So how can you slither? How can you be more crafty and more intentional in this year of the snake? So this energy, this new moon is about rising to the occasion. It's about leveling up. And 9 is letting go of identity, like the identity of the past, so we can reach a neutral point. Because Pluto, the big thing about Pluto entered Aquarius and will be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. So it's pretty powerful, Pluto and Aquarius. So the Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Pluto are in Aquarius with Jupiter, and we're in the age of Aquarius, okay? And Mars is creating a triple trine with Saturn, Venus, and Neptune in Pisces. So we've got these two trines, these powerful trines, Pluto and Aquarius with Jupiter, Mercury, Pluto, Aquarius in the age of Aquarius, and then this triple Saturn, Venus, Neptune in Pisces as we're leaving the age of Pisces. So we're leaving the age of Pisces and going into the age of Aquarius. So Jupiter is sending positive energy to the Sun and Moon in Aquarius right now. And Jupiter and Pluto together, they really do create abundance. Abundance is more than just money. It's abundance of time, health, opportunity. And Pluto, when you think of Pluto, the letter P, and you think of the number 9, they kind of look like each other. So we got Pluto on deck with this 9 energy. You got Pluto in Aquarius as we're entering the age of Aquarius, and they both have a round knob at the top with the stem. So the 9 has, if you look at a 9, it's heady. It's full of information at the top. So it's kind of interesting that we've got this energy working together. So during this time, it comes through what should you be doing at a time like this when so much is happening. My thing is you have to ground yourself. We have to get ourselves, our container strong and steady. We have to get ourselves together and get ourselves strong and steady. Aquarius governs the 11th house. Friendships, groups, idealism, hope, and like I said, the collective. The 11th house in astrology is considered the house of money and fortune. So this is why with Jupiter at play, it's considered a very auspicious time. It is the main house of income for an individual, and it is about the money you will accumulate in your life and the luck and hard work behind it. It also represents profits and gains and shows the different sources of profits and benefits in your life. The 11th house is the house of fulfillment of desires and wishes, and the amount of materialistic as much as spiritual gains received in the present life. This is why Aquarius, again, is just such a cool sign, because it's all about wholeness, I think, when you really look at it. Aquarians want to be happy, they want to be free, and they want everybody else to experience the same thing. So this moon is rich with creative energy, and it's supportive energy, and it's good luck energy. The sign of Aquarius is always going to align with human rights, civil rights, freedom, awakening, as well as massive shifts in consciousness. So this year of 9 is the universal year of endings and new beginnings. I know most of us are just chomping at the bit for where is that new beginning. The 9 universal year will also bring overwhelm. It will bring conflict, as we're already seeing. It will bring power struggles, as we're already seeing. It brings about fear of the future, because when something is ending, we're such a society that we want what we want, and we want to hang on to everything that we have. So it's going to bring fear. It's going to have us question our faith. I know I've been wobbly on faith a little bit with all of these fires and all of the devastation, followed by the way, from all of the hurricanes in the southeast. What was that, like 3-4 months ago? But when I look at it, my answer to that is we have not taken care of Gaia. We have not treated Mother Earth with the reverence and the things that we're supposed to be doing during this time. And it's coming through loud and clear. I always say Mother Nature will always prevail. Now let's go back to Pluto, that begins with the letter P. And again, Tanya Gabrielle called this out, that P is very potent of a letter. Words that describe or start with the letter P as president, prime minister, philosopher, patron, parent, performer, philanthropist, professor, just to name a few. Isn't that crazy? So the sun and moon, Mercury and Pluto are in Aquarius as we are entering the age of Aquarius. So we've got this beautiful stellium, the sun, the moon, and Mercury. Mercury is about communication, and Aquarius wants to tell it. Aquarius is the advocate. They are the advocate. They're the civil rights worker. They're the philanthropist that gets out there to move the needle and push the envelope. Mars is creating a triple with Saturn, Venus, and Neptune. Now ruled by Saturn and Uranus for wisdom and innovation. So again, I ascribe to Aquarius still being ruled by Saturn and Uranus, because Aquarius will take you to task. You talk to most Aquarians, they're super, super smart, and you don't want to get into a heavy debate with an Aquarian. They will run circles around you and rip things apart. So consider 2025 also, with all of this that's going on, a year of love, a year of time to be grateful, and a time to explore your higher mind, higher vibrations, wealth, and your well-being. One of the key contributors that we can do to help support everything that's going on for others in our planet is to take care of ourselves. Now, Venus is on deck this month, and it is noted that in 2017, Venus, so we have 3 planets. We have planets going to go into retrograde in February, but Venus right now is in the pre-shadow of her retrograde. What's crazy is in 2017, around this exact time, Venus was in the pre-shadow as it is right now. Gosh, this is why I love studying, thinking about, talking about planetary energy. So as we close out, the question is with Aquarius on deck, questions for you to ponder is, first of all, do something special on January 29th when this new moon comes in Aquarius. It is the Lunar New Year. Wear the color red. Your underwear, your socks, but wear the color red. It's going to be an auspicious day because that red envelope with the snakes on it is auspicious. It's an auspicious time. But it's a time to think about, as we go forward, how can you modernize your life? Because Aquarius is about the future. You know, I grew up with the Jetsons, the cartoon, and I grew up with Lost in Space. So that was always about the future, and that reminds me of Aquarian energy. So earth signs, it's a good time to make your money moves. Money is important to earth signs. Most earth signs are grounded. Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo are pretty frugal and wise with money. Air signs, it's a good time to invest in yourself. It's a good time to look into your creative projects and what are you truly, honestly passionate about. Water signs, this is going to be a time for you to really rejuvenate yourself, refresh yourself, because Pluto, your home planet, is about rebirth. So it may be a very emotional time. So let your emotions flow. And fire signs, you guys are the partiers of the zodiac. You fire signs, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Socializing and sharing your ideas, because you're usually full of good ideas. The key question is, since we're changing nodes, how does the past inform your future, and how can you modernize your life in the direction of the age of Aquarius? One of the things that comes through with all of this fire devastation is consumption. I know people that have beautiful homes, they traveled the world and they collected antiques and rare art and all these things, and it's just gone. I'll talk about my situation, but the last 4 or 5 months have been living very, very simple. And I'll talk more about that, but check in with your consumption. Do you really need all of the things that you are consuming? Something to think about. How can you modernize your life and embrace the innovative, creative, wisdom of this air sign, Aquarius? Aquarius is an air sign, but it is fixed. That's why it's a conundrum. And that's why with Aquarius, you can never predict, I say in quotes, what bag they're going to come out of. Because it's a fixed sign, which means fixed signs, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius and Taurus are fixed signs, not liking moving and changes very much. But yet, in air sign, it's all about go, go, go time. If you've been thinking about it, breath work is essential this time of year. This is essential during the Aquarius new moon. So that's it, folks. The new moon Aquarius coming in on January 29th at 9 degrees. We talked about the power of the number 9. Tap into your inner genius. Take a moment of pause on the 29th on a new moon. I know I hadn't fully completed my new moon intention, so January 29th, now that we've come into this year to see what it's all about, now you can make informed new year intentions. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in to Astrodology with Astrid. I really, really appreciate you, and I'll look forward to you joining me in the next video or the next episode when we talk about wrapping back up to the energy of the planets, using the planetary energy on a daily basis. Have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. And whenever you hear this episode, know that there will be a pearl of wisdom, even if it's past the new moon. Know that there's always a sentence, a word, a statement that can empower you. Follow me on Instagram at Coda Life Goddess, COTALIFE, Coda Life Goddess. And you can catch my solo cast at Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's it for now, everybody. Namaste. Thank you for listening to Astrodology. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support the podcast, please hit the subscribe button and tell your friends about it by sharing this program on social media. You can also follow me on Instagram at Coda Life Goddess or at CodaLife.com. Coda is COTA, Coda Life Goddess or CodaLife.com. Thank you again for listening to Astrodology, and I'll see you next time.